Hello Speakeasiers! Welcome to our film video. I'm very excited to record this today. Last week we worked with music, today is films, the two things I love the most in life after teaching. I think this video is going to be useful for you because I often hear my students say that they're frustrated with their learning because they're doing everything they can to improve their English. They watch series, films, they read books, but they can see very little improvement. So I hope this video helps you with that. Let's not pretend it isn't code because it actually is. Right, so in this video, I'll teach you how to use films to improve your English. I know you're aware of the importance of doing extra stuff besides the work you do in class, let's say studying grammar and stuff like that. But I feel that students are a bit lost in how to go about it. You know, like, okay, I need to watch films, I need to do extra stuff, but how? So that's exactly what I'm gonna do now. Right, so the first thing you have to have in mind is that you should watch a film in English or read a book in English the same way you do those things in your language. Oh, is it confusing? Yeah, what is the purpose of you watching a film in the first place? It's having fun, right? So why should it be different in English? It shouldn't. Why do you read the news? To know what's going on in the world. It should be the same way you read the news in English. The purpose is the same. If it's not, it becomes an artificial process and you don't want that. And I was talking about watching a film for the first time. So when you don't know the story, you get excited. Oh my God, what's gonna happen now? All right, so you're just having fun, entertaining yourself. I don't have to teach you how to do that because you know how to have fun, but I can help you with how you can work with the language in a film that you have already seen. That's what I'm focusing on right now. Before I forget, very important. I believe students get frustrated with their learning process because they seem to believe that they're going to learn English just by listening to things, watching things, right? Just by being exposed to the language, by immersion. And that's not all, okay? It does help. These things do help. For you to learn a language, for you to improve your skills, you have to actively work with the language, all right? Simply watching things, listening to things, just won't do, I'm afraid. Now, here's for those interested in exploiting the language in films. These are the steps you should follow. Number one, choose a film you have already seen. Why? Because you have to be familiar with the story. You're not focusing on understanding what's going to happen next. You're focusing on the language. Now you're studying. You're not just watching the film to have fun with it, okay? Number two, you should choose a very short excerpt of the film, a short scene. And by short, I mean from 1 to 3 minutes tops. It sounds very short, but you will understand why. Then number three, you should know what you want to work with. You shouldn't focus on every little single detail in that scene. So, I want to work with pronunciation today. Great. What in pronunciation do you want to focus on? Do you want to focus on individual sounds like we did with the Beatles song? Or do you want to work with connected speech? No. Today I'm working with grammar or vocabulary. Have one focus at a time. 4, try to choose different genres. What do I mean by that? Comedies, dramas, thrillers, horror films, sci-fi, adventure, action, and that's it. You're ready to start. So let's get to the scene. I chose Kill Bill Vol.2 to be the film we're gonna work with today, and because last week we worked with pronunciation, I thought we should do something different this week. So we're focusing on vocabulary. And I think Tarantino is great because he writes very long monologues and dialogues, and there's a lot we can take from those dialogues. But I'll show you also how to work with grammar in that particular scene. Okay, so just to give you a bit of context, if you haven't seen Kill Bill, there will be lots of spoilers from this moment on. So just stop right there. The bride and Bill are professional assassins, and they were also lovers. They were together. They were a couple. The bride finds out she's pregnant and she runs away from Bill. He gets really mad when he finds out she's still alive and she's living with another man and she's pregnant. Now, being an assassin, he does the logical thing, which is having her killed. All right? But before he has her killed by his gang, he goes to a chapel where she is having some sort of rehearsal for her wedding. That's the scene. The scene is called Wedding Crasher, where Bill finds the bride and they have this dialogue.
Hello, kiddo.
How did you find me?
I'm the man.
What are you doing here?
What am I doing? Well, a moment ago I was playing my flute. This moment, I'm looking at the most beautiful bride these old eyes have ever seen.
Why are you here?
Last look.
Are you gonna be nice?
I've never been nice my whole life.
You know, I lied to you. I'm going to work with grammar and vocabulary. You know, since we're here, we might as well. If we look at verb tenses only, saying, well, she starts by saying, how did you find me? Past simple. Yeah, he found her. I'm the man. So using present simple to talk about equality. What are you doing here? And this one, in this scene in particular, in this sentence, Bill sounds like an English teacher because he says, what am I doing? Well, a moment ago, I was playing my flute. Past continuous. A moment ago, and he uses the time phrase to show you that. At this moment, I'm looking at the most beautiful bride. Oh, present continuous. A moment ago, I was playing my flute. At this moment, I'm looking at the most beautiful bride. Past continuous, present continuous. Bill is in fact an English teacher, I'm sure. He's not an assassin. Really, you have a full lesson, a full grammar lesson. You could revise all the verb tenses you know. So it goes on, the bride says, why are you here? So we're talking about the moment, but be, are you here, is a stative verb, so she's not going to say, why are you being here? And then she asks him, are you gonna be nice? Are you planning to be nice? So you use going to for plans. Then he says, I've never been nice my whole life. Present perfect, to talk about experiences. Look, you get this moment in the present, look back to your past. So have I done this? I've never been nice my whole life. Experiences. I'm just gonna skip to the last part of the scene. He makes a mean comment about the bride's boyfriend's hair, and she says, you promised you'd be nice. The reported speech, you promised or you said you would be nice, because as if he had said, I will be nice. How many verb tenses were there? Past simple, past continuous, present perfect, reported speech. This is 5 grammar points we worked with in a 2-minute scene. That's how amazing this is, guys. So now let's work with vocabulary, some nice chunks in this scene. Are you gonna be nice? I've never been nice in my whole life, but I'll do my best. Do my best. Do someone's best. I'll make an effort. Yeah? do my best is a very common collocation. Now it's my favorite part.
No one who's ever seen it. See, you got a bun in the oven.
I'm knocked up.
Where he approaches her and he says something, something, something. You got a bun in the oven. Well, maybe you don't know what that means. But then she replies, I'm knocked up. If you have no idea what these two things mean, that's okay. But you can use the scene, and you should use the scene, the other elements, the images, whatever, to make you understand vocabulary. He's looking at her and she's clearly very pregnant. So these two expressions mean to be pregnant, to have a bun in the oven, and to be knocked up. There, you learned 2 more expressions. There are lots of things we could work with, but this video is getting too long, and I'm just gonna work with the last one.
She said, you promised you'd be nice, and he said, no, I said I would do my best. That's hardly a promise. What do you write?
What does your young man do for a living?
He owns a used record store here in El Paso.
Ah, music lover, eh?
He's fond of music.
And he asks her, what does your young man do for a living? And maybe you don't know what that is, but then she says, he owns a used record store here in El Paso. Do for a living, owns a record store. Oh my God, record store, I'm not sure. But then he says, music lover, huh? So record store, we're talking about vinyls probably. So you understand, he owns a record store. He's the owner of a record store. So do for a living, we're asking what's his job? And there you have another expression. I forgot this one, and this is one of the best ones. In the same part of the scene, he says,
Oh, he owns a used record store here in El Paso. Ah, music lover, eh? And he said,
He's fond of music.
he's fond of music. And aren't we all? Fond of music, when you're fond of something, you like something. Another way of saying, he likes music. All right? So you're broadening your vocabulary with a 2-minute scene, please. And we drop the mic. I know this video is the longest video I've recorded for you, but man, doesn't it make sense? It's fun and useful. This is real language. This is real life language, and you don't need, like you can just use, Netflix or something.
and you're going to be revising grammar points, vocabulary, learning things.
I just think it's brilliant. Have a try. Again, let me know how you feel about it. Let me know how you get on with it. I hope you enjoyed this video. And watch Kill Bill. Have a great weekend, guys.